I think is very interesting, to be honest, about Top Gun Maverick is that if you think about it, especially you realize, wow, there's a lot of similarities here to Star Wars: A New Hope. The pitch meeting from Ryan George does a great job of pointing out all these similarities. And yet, you're not seeing a ton of people out there saying, oh, Top Gun Maverick, it was just a Star Wars knockoff. The movie was too derivative. No, not a lot of people are saying that, even though, if you think about it, there's a lot of similarities here, right? Because in Top Gun Maverick, you have good guys trying to take out an enemy base. You have pilots in planes navigating through tight spaces in order to hit a narrow target, basically in order to put a weapon down the exhaust port, fire their weapons down into the exhaust port in order to destroy the enemy base. And there's even a moment in the movie where a character stops using their targeting computer, basically closes their eyes in order to think about how they're going to do this. That's very obviously similar to Luke Skywalker closing his eyes, letting the Force in, and then destroying the Death Star. There's even a moment at the end of Maverick where a character flies in at just the last second to save the hero. This is obviously similar to Han Solo flying in at the last second to save Luke Skywalker at the end of A New Hope, leading to the Death Star being destroyed. On top of that, in Top Gun Maverick, as the pitch meeting from Ryan George pointed out, you have a character who is training or mentoring someone who is the son of someone they used to fight with back in the day. This is obviously pretty similar to Obi-Wan Kenobi training Luke Skywalker, the son of Anakin Skywalker, who he used to fight with back in the day. And thus, there is quite a good amount of parallels in Maverick to A New Hope, but you're not seeing a ton of people saying that the movie's too derivative. With the creator, a lot of people have said the movie's too derivative, but why is it we're not hearing that with Top Gun Maverick? Well, I think because the movie was so well done, and more importantly because there's some differences as well. Because the movie starts off with all these higher-ups in the military doubtful about the whole program, so Maverick goes out in a plane to prove that it can still be done. And then you have the part of the movie where the higher-ups in the military change the plan, and then Maverick goes out in a plane to prove the plan can actually still work. And then you have the whole subplot with Jennifer Connelly, and those are some differences right there. Admittedly, there is a part of the movie where our heroes get into an old plane in order to fight against a more technologically advanced plane, basically. There's an obvious parallel here to Star Wars, but I think that in the case of Top Gun Maverick, the movie has things to offer outside of these Star Wars-like elements. I think that's a big reason why you're not seeing a ton of people criticizing Top Gun Maverick for being a Star Wars knockoff. The same way that with Rebel Moon, a lot of people have said this comes off like a Star Wars knockoff. Or there's this movie called Sea Beast that came out on Netflix. A lot of people have said it feels like a How to Train Your Dragon knockoff. There's a movie called The Wild that came out back in, I think, 2006. A lot of people have said it feels like a Madagascar knockoff. You're not hearing that kind of thing with Top Gun Maverick.